Community to Community's vision is development with dignity. No shame, no pity. We amplify dignity and progress led by the people of Petit Guave. In a world too often defined by headlines, something incredible is happening. Communities here don't just survive, they are working hard to thrive. Community to Community is working with the people of Petit Guave to restore vital resources. A much-needed canal is built one hand at a time. Roads are carved into a mountain with simple tools, bringing safe passage to their children and elders. This is development with dignity. And while access to continuous healthcare is saving lives, trees planted today will nourish future generations. Each person is building, planting, and teaching. We are not the heroes. You are. The person willing to support this movement and say, yes, I want to be a restorer of dignity. Join Community to Community.
Whether from my teachers, counselors, therapists, coaches, mentors, they've all taught me something that runs through all of them, and that is change is the only constant in life. I've been taking a skating class, which I've shared with you all before. And during this past kind of ice age situation that was going on the East Coast, 3 of the classes were canceled. So 6 classes total. Went to the first 3, then we had a snowstorm, the classes were canceled. Then we had another snowstorm, and that class was canceled. And then last week, it was closed. So today was the makeup day. And I show up and I'm thinking to myself, what if I don't remember any of this? What if I have to start all over again? Because it took a lot just in the first 3 sessions for me to really kind of get my groove, right? And I just didn't feel like I was prepared for just going to class and that this would be technically the last class. But as I got closer to getting onto the rink and getting onto the ice, I started praying and talking to myself. And I said to my body, you will remember. You will remember. I started telling myself, you've had good training. It will all come back to you. You will remember. Your body will remember. I got on the ice, and as I was gliding, I could feel it coming back. And I was gliding to the left, gliding to the right. And I was like, oh, yes. And then I remembered how much I enjoyed doing this and how this was on my list of things to do, right? It was important for me that I wanted to learn how to skate, something I've been thinking about for minimum 20 years. So I continued gliding, and the instructor came up and she said, you know, I'm glad you're here. Today's the makeup day, and I'm going to test. Everyone's getting tested out. And I was like, what? Nobody told me about that. I did not know that I was going to be tested today. I've literally been on the ice for like 2 minutes. And I was like, change. Okay. So I thought it was going to be one way, and it turned out it was going to be another way. So how do I respond to that? The thing about change is we can't do anything about it. It's going to happen regardless. The only thing we have control over is how we're going to respond to the change. And when she said that, a little bit part of me went into panic because I'm a good student. So I felt that I was not prepared for this test that she was about to give me, and I didn't have time to study. And, I started to go down that slope. And then I pulled myself up and I said, I'm going to try. So you'll be happy to know that I did not give up. I kept going and decided, how am I going to respond? Am I going to be upset? Am I going to complain? Am I going to go in kicking and screaming? Am I going to be excited? Am I going to be hopeful? I chose to be excited and hopeful. So there were 5 things, including, as you know, my early nemesis, the swizzle. Your girl nailed the swizzle. I felt like I'm a swizzle queen now. So not only did I swizzle forward, I also swizzled backward. And I fancy myself a figure skater. And I decided I'm going to stop saying I will learn to skate and instead say I am learning to skate and I am going to figure skate. So out of the 5 things, I passed all of them. And in full transparency, the one thing I do need help in is stopping. So I'd just be circling around until I slow down, which is not stopping, by the way. But my instructor said I did a really good job and that I passed. So I'm now eligible to go into adult skate dos. So I'm excited about that. Then I had another thought, which is, do I sign up for this next class? Because as a result of having her all to myself, because there's usually 6 people in the class, but nobody showed up for half an hour. So I technically got a private with her and I got to see what a private was like. And I thought, I feel like I got more in this half hour than I have had in all the 3 classes combined. And I thought, I want to go further, faster. It's like if we were both I'm in New York and you and I decided we're going to go to Florida. And you said you were going to drive. And I said I was going to fly. So if you drive, it's going to take you about 18 hours or so. But if I fly, it's going to take me about 3, maybe 4. So when you think about time and how important it is, if you want to get there faster and go further, the vehicle that you choose to use will determine that. I could walk to Florida. I could ride my bike to Florida. I could drive my car. I can take a train. I can do a plane, fly plane. All of those require a different amount of time. But the decision you have to make is, what am I using this time for? Am I trying to buy back my time in the sense that I want more time to be in Florida? If that is the case, then I'm certainly going to I'm going to book my flight and fly down. Same thing with the skating. I want to be further ahead in this second quarter. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that is if I take private lessons. It's less time, but it's more focused time. So my question to you is, number 1, how do you respond to change? And number 2, how fast do you respond to change? Think about that. How do you change? How do you respond to change? And how fast do you want it? Bonjour tout le monde. It's Coach MarieYolaine, CEO and Firestarter of Community to Community. Welcome to Restoring Dignity with C2C. Today, we're talking about something that affects millions of people every year, hurricane season. In Haiti, storms are not unexpected. They are predictable. More than 96% of the population is exposed to natural disasters like hurricanes, flooding, and landslides during this season. But here's the truth. Preparedness saves lives, because that's a change we can't do anything about. Hurricane season is coming, but how we respond to it, that is something we can do something about. And what we do is get prepared. And today we're going to talk about what preparedness really looks like before the storm arrives. Too often, the world only sees Haiti after disaster strikes, after the storm, after the flooding, after the earthquake, after the damage. But resilience is built before the storm. Preparedness means roads that allow people to evacuate safely, canals that prevent flooding, boots and tools that allow communities to clear debris, a structure that can be a shelter where the community can shelter in place during a storm, to bring whether it's animals, children, equipment into a safe place where everyone knows where to go. Preparedness is infrastructure. Preparedness is planning. Preparedness is community coordination. Hurricane Melissa reminded us how vulnerable communities can be, but it also showed us the power of community response. Through our coordinated efforts with APHD and ODCP, our stakeholder associations, we were able to respond quickly. And because of your donations, it flowed quickly and it was dispersed quickly to address the folks who had been most vulnerable and most impacted, which resulted in food distribution, sanitation campaigns, water source protection, trauma healing training. The most important lesson we learned is this: emergency response cannot replace preparedness. It cannot be that, oh my gosh, it's happening, and now we have to get prepared. As a matter of fact, I've heard it said that when the storm hits, it's too late to get prepared. And there's another truth we have to acknowledge, and that is Haiti contributes to the least climate change, as do most of the islands in the Caribbean. We contribute to the least amount of global climate change. Yet, it's communities that are in Haiti, Jamaica, Bermuda, Antigua, all in the area of the Caribbean, we often suffer the most from its consequences. That is why what we build before the storm determines who survives when the clouds break. Because preparedness is not just about the weather, it's about justice, climate justice. It cannot be that there's one group that pollutes the air and there's the other group that has to breathe it. We all have to do our part on this one little beautiful, beautiful blue marble, this beautiful earth that we've been given. That when you engage in your daily life, I encourage you, think globally and act locally. Think globally, act locally. What does that mean? That means that when you are engaging in activities, think about how this is going to impact not just you or your community, but the world at large. I don't know how many of you know this, but there's a lot of trash from developed countries, and I'm loath to say that word, those two words together, but I hope it'll help you to understand where their trash is going to an underdeveloped country. But why is that country underdeveloped is the question that we should be asking. And why is a barge of trash being dumped on another person's country when we here can recycle, we can make sure that we don't use the things that we know that we can use for a much longer period of time, for example. Thinking globally, thinking that what is my water usage, my electricity usage, where my trash is going, how is that impacting my community, my state, my country, and the countries that are also represented on this planet that we all share together? Think globally, act locally. Are you composting? That helps a lot as well. Thinking about what is your carbon footprint that you're leaving. Everybody can't do everything, but everyone can do something so that everything gets done. Because if it was you, you'd want your neighbors to take care of their trash. You'd want your neighbors to do composting. You want your neighbors to conserve energy. We do it for ourselves, and we should do it for each other. So as we think about these hurricanes that are now becoming stronger and lasting longer, we must be more prepared. Because now it's not just the Caribbean. It is the US, it is South America. It is us having this snow bomb, as they called it, in the last, 2 weeks in February, where we had these back-to-back snowstorms. And then it was freezing for what felt like weeks. And people were freaking out because it's not normal. So if it's not normal, how do we get it back to being normal? The earth is talking to us, and we should listen. It's funny that we call the earth a she, gender-wise, and we call her Mother Earth. Then we should take care of our mother. We should also listen to her, especially when she is in pain over something that we are doing. And we can take care of her. Think globally, act locally. And as a woman, this is a thing that's very, very important to me. And it's Women's History Month. So thinking about the earth as a woman, let's lean into that. And as we celebrate Women's History Month, women are often the first responders in their communities. They organize families, they protect children, they often lead the recovery efforts. And I'm honored to be moderating a panel at the Commission on the Status of Women on Monday, March 16th, discussing leadership and resilience. The Haitian Women's Collective, Negres Mahon, and the Institute for Justice and Democracy in Haiti are co-sponsoring this event focused on the rights of Haitian women and girls at the Commission on the Status of Women, and this year. So the panel is called No Future Without Women, Justice, Peace, and Elections in Haiti. It's bringing leading voices from Haiti's women's rights movement to examine the indispensable role of women and girls in shaping Haiti's path out of its current crisis and its future. It is said that a society that protects and promotes its women is a society that flourishes. And these panelists will discuss the strategies to advance women's rights, tackle gender-based violence, and strengthen justice and security, including how to ensure women are equal participants in Haiti's overdue elections scheduled for this year. This is an in-person event at the UN Plaza. RSVP is required to attend, to volunteer, or sign up to get the recording. So I implore you and encourage you to join me at the United Nations for this event and come to learn and to also contribute, right? I'm sure that you may have a question to move the needle forward. So I encourage you to attend. We're preparing for that panel now while we're preparing for hurricane season, because preparedness is dignity. When you are ready for something, you feel different than when you are not ready. That's why the change is being constant. It'll roll right over you, or you say, oh, I see it afar. I'm going to get ready for that. And when you are able to make decisions about the changes that are happening in your life, that is how your dignity is restored. That is how your dignity is maintained. Preparedness is dignity. Preparedness is protection. Preparedness is community. And you are part of this work. When you become a C2C neighbor, your monthly support helps communities prepare before the storm arrives. It empowers women to determine their own plans for their lives and their communities. You are not giving charity. You are restoring dignity. I'm a C2C Neighbor monthly donor myself, and I invite you to join me. And if you want to help build long-term development, join us for the Gerard and Ghislaine Euseb Golf Classic. The funds raised are going towards breaking ground in real time on the Health and Wellness Center. a place where communities will receive constant care long after the storms pass. Just go to C2Chaiti.org. All of the information is there. And it's a sunny day today, so I'm very excited right now. It's a very good sign. The Golf Classic is taking place on Thursday, May 14th, and it's an early morning shotgun. So I encourage you, you have multiple ways that you can participate. You can register your golf team, either as a foursome or twosome. Even if you register yourself, we will pair you up. So you'll meet people and you'll get to network on the golf course. You can become a sponsor, join the networking lunch, or there's also the golf clinic. I forgot to mention that, where you can learn to play golf as well right before you go to lunch. Come and hang out with some really awesome people, right, who are definitely committed to seeing this health and wellness center get built. And then if you are, like I said, living on Mars and can't come, I understand. Donate if you cannot attend. And I also ask you to share with your networks, your family, your friends, coworkers, for them to visit C2Chaiti.org and see all the work that we're doing. Come to the Golf Classic or sign up for our impact report to stay connected and see the work and join us. This is development with dignity. This health and wellness center that we are building is going to be the first of its kind on this mountain. It's going to have its own maternity ward, its own pharmacy, the optometrist office, rather, that folks can see an eye doctor, a dental office. This is change at its finest. To go from not having this to having this is generational impact making work. This is development with dignity. This is what you want to be a part of. So I implore you, I encourage you, I invite you to come be a part of something much greater than yourself. So, as I said at the beginning, change is the only constant in life. And I asked you, how are you responding when change comes in your life or when the storms come in your life? We cannot stop the change and we cannot stop the storms. What we can do is control how we respond. And we respond by being prepared and being ready and choosing to look at the change as an opportunity so that our energy is spent rolling with that tide. I hope you've learned more about C2C, about our work, about how much we love our partner communities and how much we really, really, really believe in them and come alongside them and helping them to realize this dream that they've had for decades. You can be a part of that, helping move this from being a dream to being a reality. And I encourage you and challenge you. What change are you going through in your life right now that you need to address? We're about to finish first quarter and start spring. Spring is about renewal. You can start your year over today if you want to. So don't let all this sunshine, all this spring and renewal and opportunities and change, don't let it pass you by. Thank you for joining me today and tuning in. Merci en pile. Bon Dieu béni. God bless you. See you next time.